What's going on, guys? We are back once again. We are finally going to be discussing Ahsoka episode 4. So this really took me by storm, the fandom by storm. I know it's been a long day. I finally was able to watch it. So overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I did. This episode was really interesting. Uh, it starts off right where it left off the last episode, where Ahsoka and Sabine are getting ready to travel on the unknown planet, as well as we see Hu Yang trying to repair the ship. And what we see is they get orders. We have these unknown robots that get orders from Balin to go after them three, and then what happens is we finally see Ahsoka along with Sabine fighting off the droids and saving Hu Yang, which was cool. And then they go further into the forest when Hu Yang states, hey, it'd be easier if y'all were together because y'all work better together. And when we see that, we even see before then where Ahsoka's a little worried about Sabine because she's very focused on trying to get Ezra back, and unfortunately don't know if she's going to be able to because of everything that has happened. Then at the same time, we see where between Marok and Shin meet Ahsoka and Sabine for the fight, and this was a very good fight. I will say Ahsoka came in very aggressively, started shooting at Shin, and then when Shin got the better of her for being able to use the Force and also being able to block the blaster, then we kind of see this fight between Sabine and Shin round 2, I guess you would say. And we see the fight between Ahsoka and Marok. Now here is the thing that really got me, is we saw a good fight. Now again, you gotta remember here, guys, Ahsoka has taken down a single Inquisitor by herself and among others. So again, she knows what she's doing. So when she finally takes on Marok, right in this final stance, you see her raise the blade, and it was very similar, and she cuts him down, so similar to what it reminded me of was what Obi-Wan did to Darth Maul, and the style Anakin used, and all you see is just black, like, it almost reminded me of like demon dust coming out of a body from like Supernatural is what it reminded me of, and it was really cool. So it made me wonder, what exactly was Marok? Who was he? So there was a lot of theories out there saying, oh, it was Sam Witwer playing him, or it was some unknown Jedi that was turned by Vader, or it was somebody else loyal to Balin. We don't know. As soon as we see this, we see Sabine tell Ahsoka to go, and they get the portal ready to go. And when this happens, we see Morgan tell Balin to go ahead and stay by the map so that way he can protect it. And while Ahsoka goes there, we finally see that legendary line of Balin telling Ahsoka that Anakin spoke very highly of you. She says, that funny, you didn't. And he says everybody knew about Anakin Skywalker. He says very few knew about what he became. So he somehow knew that Anakin became Vader. And Ahsoka even says, I'm not here to discuss my past. That's when they start fighting. Now, we'll say this was a good fight between Ahsoka and Balin. Now, we got to see how aggressive Balin can be, but also at the same time, he kind of reminded me of fighting almost like Dooku and Qui-Gon a little bit, in my own personal opinion, just by the way his stance was, by the way he was composing himself, and then when he got angry, when later on Shin tries to get into the fight, and Ahsoka force pushes her into a rock, and that's what makes Balin even more angry to be able to get them more aggressive in the fight. But we do see where Sabine does get taken down again by Shin, and then when it looks like she's trying to use the Force, Shin's like, you have no power, and Ahsoka uses her gauntlet on her arm to be able to get the advantage over her. And then as soon as that happens, that's when Shin tries to leave and goes and try to help Balin. And then we see where Balin and Ahsoka's having a fight. Ahsoka's actually having issues while Morgan's trying to get the coordinates so she can jump to light speed with everybody. And we also see in another area where actually Hera gathers Jason as well as also Phoenix Squad, again, our boys from Mandalorian, to go to help Sabine as well as Ahsoka. Now, when this happens, we see where Ahsoka is having issues, and then we see Sabine have a blaster to the map, and unfortunately, we see where Shin gets involved more, and then he kicks Ahsoka off, and that was before or after she was actually able to grab a hold of the map and it burned her in her hand. Now, this is what's going to be very important, I think, at the very later of the episode, because we see where Balin uses Sabine's emotional status towards Ezra to be able to give him the map, which she does. He activates the map one more time. They will complete the coordinates. He even tells her, if you go with me, you will have my word, you will not be harmed. But we see where Shin gets very angry and she even tries force choking Sabine, which is kind of interesting. And he even tells her, don't do that. I gave her my word. He's unlike her former master. I'm going to keep my word. So they take her up to the hyper drive area, and that's when Hera comes, and Morgan ain't worried about it. She says, we're just going to ignore him. And they go full speed through, and 2 of the X-Wings gets destroyed. And all we see is 2 others along with Hera. And we see Jason tell Hera, he says, Mom, I have a bad feeling. So it pretty much is confirmed that, yeah, he is force sensitive, that more than likely he will be a Jedi at some point. What I think is going to be kind of cool is possibly maybe Ahsoka may train him maybe later on, or someone else. I don't know. I may make a video about that. But we see where Huyang is trying to get in contact with Sabine, even Ahsoka. He's unable to do so. Then we see at the very end, it looks like Ahsoka is in the world between worlds. I think this happened because of her touching the map. And all we hear, guys, I know the fandom went nuts. I went nuts. I was spoiled this early. Seeing and hearing Hayden say snips for the first time, and we are so used to hearing him say that, Anakin say that in the Clone Wars and Rebels and everything of that nature, because hearing him say snip, like, hey Snips, he says, I didn't expect to see you here so soon. And that's when we see Hayden Christensen return once again as Anakin, like he was in Revenge of the Sith, aka the last part of the Clone Wars. Now, she says Anakin, it ends, we hear warm music, we hear kind of the theme of Anakin. Then at the very end, right before we get to the credits, we hear the Vader theme. So it makes me wonder, what is this? Is this actually Anakin? Or is this something messing with her head? Is this a different form of Anakin? What exactly is this? It makes me wonder, is she going to be seeing the Anakin that she knows, that she loves, that she considers her brother, that she considers her family? Or is this Anakin / Vader? Who is this? So I can't wait for episode 5. I'm very eager to see this. This episode was absolutely amazing. The fights was amazing. Scene between Ahsoka versus Marok, Ahsoka versus Balin, and even Sabine versus Shin. I loved it. I loved the fights. I think it was absolutely amazing. This was, I think, actually so far my favorite episode of the series thus far. I think episode 5 may be even better because that's what was confirmed. We're going to be seeing more Hayden Christensen as Anakin Skywalker. But guys, what did you think of this episode? Was it amazing? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it over the top? Was it not as what you were expecting? What was your thoughts? Do you think obviously Jason is force sensitive? Who do you think Marok was? Where do you think Sabine and the rest of them went? What galaxy do you think they went to? Do you think we're going to see Thrawn here soon? Who do you think we're going to see very soon? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments down below if you guys are enjoying the video. And as always, I'm seeing you on the very next one.